I think there is a fundamental problem in magic systems these days for books or magic in general. It's not being treated like magic. So to say that magic is being treated more like science than magic. The problem is that people want rules they can understand, both in the case of the reader and the author. The author wants rules for magic so they don't pull a deus ex machina out of nowhere whenever they need one. A good author should be able to avoid this, but sometimes you can trip up and use the easy outs of magic. There's a problem we can't solve? The wise wizard knows a spell to fix it. This is the thing that people dread when magic doesn't appear to have rules. This problem can be solved by the author setting a few ground rules for magic. He should figure out the source of magic, for one. Is there magic in this world because there's magic in the world? That's good enough. But he could have magic be in this world because God put it there for mortals to use. Or he could even have magic is weaving new rules into a tapestry to change the universe in a sort of localized fashion. And the tapestry, of course, being the tapestry of life or time, whatever you want to call it. Then an author can throw in a few rules like you can't bring people back to life. Don't work. There's only one spell that can instantly kill people, and it's a single target. You can't make food. Don't know why, just doesn't work. Some more fluffy, intricate rules are you have to wave your hands about and say fancy words, or a wizard must use a magic gemstone to channel their powers, or even you need to intricately weave together elements for the most potent results. You can even have a few small nitty-gritty rules like you can't regrow limbs, or you can't teleport. But what's better than having rules of what you can't do is rules that you can do. So what can magic do? I can send out waves of fire, bring elementals to life, and can turn men into pigeons. The power! The basic rules are, of course, for the author. They need not justify their system to you, mere mortal. Sure, feeding the readers bits and pieces through story without exposition's all good and fine. Make it a part of the tale, but also be careful not to obsess over these rules. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm as guilty as many in thinking everything has to have a reason, has to work, some way, has to be explained. But does it really? I blame Brandon Sanderson for this mostly. He loves having magic systems which are more akin to new rules of physics than magic. He also seems to enjoy explaining these rules to his readers in depth, which is awesome. With these rules, people can try to figure out the best way to manipulate them into interesting results. This includes Sanderson, and people just love this. They can come up with their own ways to manipulate this magic. They can figure out optimal things and cool combinations. It's also really fun just to have these rules of magic, physics stuff slowly trickle fed to you, and you just look to learn more and more and more about the magic. But it's just not magic. Magic has something special, something different, something sparkly. Harry Potter does an excellent job of this. There is hard rules for magic, but for the most part, there are spells that do things once you know the spell, and with that spell you can do things. However, the spells are limited by their own existence in this magic. Wingardium Leviosa is a spell that levitates objects. That's its purpose. It levitates objects. That's what it does. Now, you can't stand on an object and then levitate it with Wingardium Leviosa. You're not casting Tensor's Floating Disc. It just doesn't work that way. Speaking of D&D, it also has some great rules. A fireball spell will explode in something like a 50-foot radius outwards in a sphere. If you throw it into a corridor, it doesn't rush down the corridor a longer distance because of the conservation of thermal mass. It will expand the distance that the spell allows, possibly blowing a hole through the wall, but won't be any bigger than the limitations of magic. That's how the spell works. It expands in a sphere. Gate opens up a portal to anywhere in the world as long as you know the location or you've been there. Now let's say you open up this gate by yourself or in front of a group of baddies, and the other part of the gate is opened at the bottom of the ocean. Now you might be hoping to make the biggest pressure cutter in the world. However, according to the rules of magic, which are not science, you create a portal to the bottom of the ocean. Gate makes a gateway. There's no wall of water that will come rushing out and kill everything in its path. It'll just be a really hard to walk through portal because it's like a floating disc of water in the air that has the pressure of the bottom of the ocean. Imagine trying to press through that. Now, people would love to have the pressure cutter of doom, and they want to use and abuse stuff like this in magic. This is just because it's cool to abuse. Magic doesn't care for your physics, or clever logic, or abusive reasoning. It's frickin' magic! It doesn't care about the astronomical amount of energy it would take to make a cake appear out of nothing. It just changes reality and boom, you got a cake. Now, if you like, it can use up mana of the wizard or whatever else you want. Or you can just require the wizard to say boppity boo. But you shouldn't be able to make Sid Cake appear in someone's lungs and kill them. The spell makes a cake. Delicious magical goodness. Not a suffocating mass of sugar-covered gluten. It is not meant to be explained or ill-used. It's meant to be magic. The author should write well, and the reader should trust them, not have bullshit magic. Their magic system can be cool. It can be like magic in Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is based only around body movements and mindset. Or it can be like Wheel of Time, which is about intricately weaving together the 5 elements. It has limitations and established rules, but it doesn't let them get in the way of a good story. I do love Brandon Sanderson. He makes awesome stories, really cool different systems of physics. I just can't call it magic, or not very good magic. I think Harry Potter has some of the best magic. So does D&D, which is based off Dying Earth. You just don't need to know every single little rule about magic. A part of magic is mystery. This is an extra force that differs in the ways of the normal runnings of reality. Magic isn't, oh yeah, in this world people can fly if they eat blue rocks that are in these special caves, because of how it reacts to their body. Magic is, people usually can't fly, but we can make magic rocks by saying some words that make something out of nothing that can make you fly. Now there could be abundance of these rocks. Maybe they're from a long time ago, or in certain caves they just appear, but they are not of this world. They are not of this reality. It is not that physics states, oh yeah, these rocks make it so your gravity changes and you go up in the air at negative 2.4 meters per second, and you can choose to stop ascending by thinking a direction down. It's that these rocks, they let you fly, man. They're like magic.